All right, I'm live right now on both TikTok and YouTube. Woohoo, I got it. I'm going to bring up my backup account of YouTube so that I can see comments. There we go. Make sure the volume's off. It is. Oh, we are already on the backup account on this. There we go. All right. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great night. I got to read our script because I still don't have it memorized. It says, I'm Carol. Yes, I am Carol. I'm the owner and creator behind CarolJo's, where creativity and community come together. Here at CarolJo's, we do a little bit of everything. It's not just about jewelry and what I've done. It's about more than that. It's about connection, creativity, and having fun while you learn. Each week we have 2 tutorials. We have, which is where I show you how to make beautiful jewelry or accessories, or in this case, our next one tomorrow night is a Christmas tree ornament, and I teach it step by step. Then we have 2 chats every week. That's where we talk about tips, tricks, and answer any questions you have about jewelry making or running your small business. And then several times throughout the week, we have live events where you get to claim items we use in the tutorials or find new treasures for your own creations. So that's what we do here at CarolJo's. Tonight, we're having chat night. So that means you guys get to ask all the questions you want that you have. Hi, Robin, about jewelry making, about running your small business, or just having a discussion about creating. Now, I talked about in the very beginning there, when we have tutorials, our next one will be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central. Hold on, I got to finish this up. I didn't have down, there we go. I'm just going to finish it up really quick, and then I'm going to show you what we have on deck for tomorrow night. I have to do the singeing. I didn't have my torch to do that. So I'll show them to you when they're all done here. I just have 2 more to do. There we go. And what I mean by that is 2 pieces of cord. Hi, Nordic Luna. All right, here I'm going to show you different ones. Hi, Cece. So this is the first one. We are going to make Christmas tree ornaments tomorrow. This one is a printed, where we have the Christmas printed bead here in the center with 15 millimeters and the 12 by 6 lentils using the white cord. Then I got 2 of them with focals. So you don't have to do them with focals. You don't have to do them with prints. You can just do them with colors. You can make however. But here's another example, and this one is the 15 millimeter round. We have the lentil and we have a focal. So that one is example number 2. And here we have example number 3 using a different focal. Where I picked up in the Christmas tree, we have blue, red, and yellow lights. And I didn't want to do another red because thank you for the heart me there, Melissa. Because this is red, I didn't want to put another red bead with it. And then the outline of the focal is black. So I chose to grab the yellow out of here. Well, hello. And then I used the black because of the outline, and then the blue from the lights. So I picked up 2 of the colors from the lights in the focal to create this one. So it's just like the truck with the Christmas tree on it and some beads. Can you show Ashley the earring pieces with the 5 at the bottom? Huh? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Ashley. Woohoo, you can see today. When did I show that? Earlier today? I'm like trying to think of the 5. I'm like totally like earlier today. The teardrop is what we had. Is that the one? The hearts in the middle. I didn't have earrings with hearts in the middle, did I? I am like sitting here going, huh? Was that earlier today? Sorry, they're over here. Metal circles with, oh, the chandeliers. Okay, thank you. Now I got it. I was thinking, hold on. I've got your guys's, I did not invoice, sorry. Now I got it. She's talking these. Yep, now I know what you're talking. When you said that, the metals with the circles, that's what clued me in. These are called chandeliers. This is what we were talking about. Thank you, John. So with chandeliers, you have the earring. You can put the earring or you can put the necklace up here at the top. And like you would have it dangle down and then you dangle down from there. Then also you can make it into a pendant and dangle it down. You can also do like pieces of chain, all kinds of things. I believe I sold out. Yeah, Nordic Luna got 2. So if you wanted one of hers, I can put that in there, Ashley. Is that what you want me to do? Okay, I'll do that. Okay. Now that I figured that out, sorry. And there's 10 in a pack, so you can make different pendants, you can make earrings, whatever you want. Thank you, John, about the shirt. I appreciate that. All right. Remember, I'm just going to say to everybody, we are talking about jewelry making and running our small businesses. We just need to keep it appropriate. Yep. Yep. No, that's fine because we ended up selling out of that and I didn't think we would. Literally, we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items that we didn't sell out of today. Yeah. Yeah. You amaze me by being able to homeschool your kids, Ashley, because I could not do that. Oh no, Robin, do you need an update on it on TikTok? And the reason why I will tell you guys that we did not, I shouldn't say the I word, we didn't work on the list, is because after I got off the live, I just felt blech, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go rest. So I will have them done for you. I'm going to do them tomorrow morning. See, you proved yourself that you could do it. It might not be easy, but you can do it. And that, as a parent, that we do for our kids, we do it. So, sorry, I am yawning. I'm yawning. I am like, I literally am hoping I am not coming down with Ryan's stuffiness. I have been tired after the live. I just wanted to relax and geez. Yep, exactly. You're going to have a baby boy. Awesome. I need to show you those beads. I need to send you the pictures. I haven't forgotten about it. I just haven't done it. So excited. So when is the due date? Oh, and I also forgot. Ashley took care of our invites. We got our invites. If we can just get to 10K, we'll do giveaways. It's funny because over here, I wish it would be geared at more of like beading questions, but they just asked over here, do you like museums? Oh, so you don't have, I mean, yes, it is 4 months, 4 months away. So you're over halfway there. And hopefully your house will stay better than our house. It has not been a good week for our house. We had a little dog that was named Remington. Okay, so her mom's name was Dakota, so they put it was Remington, Joe, Dakota, and then they combined part of my husband's last name and my maiden name to give a last name unique one to the dog. A bead museum would be cool. My question is, okay, we've been bringing in different shapes of beads lately. I've been trying to. What is your favorite shape of bead? I've been wondering that for you guys. So if you guys, of course you can, I was going to say, yes, you need to cry. Oh no, I had one right before I went live and Ryan looked at me and I'm like, I think you're sharing it with me. And he laughed. I'm like, don't laugh. Nordic Luna likes round. I was going to say, hi, Geraldine. I like rondelles. Lisa likes rondelles too. That's why you guys will see that I have a ton of them. But today, I was wearing this necklace and I thought, you know what? I should in my next, I can't say that one word, the next time I get items, how about that? I was like, I am going to see if I can get the top drilled teardrops. And then you can just put a round or the triangle jump ring and then hang it down like this. I want to try to get some more of those. The circles that are transparent, those are cool. And so I thought I'm going to see if I can find some. I'm sorry I'm yawning, everybody. Yes, there are a lot of different shapes of beads. There are a lot. And I know I need to finish up our cords and wire series and then we can go into the shapes. Oh, I love the diagonal shaped squares. I just love those. Sorry. Especially when they are those, the crystal glass, because they just give off light, and making them into earrings. To me, those are just, oh, I love them. I loved what we made with the earrings with the teardrops with that 11 by 8 millimeter size. Anything faceted. And the faceted does give off that sparkle that you see. And it's because you've cut the glass in so many different edges that the light reflects off of all the cuts to the glass. Or it can be even stones that can be faceted too. But that's the reason why they sparkle, is because they have the extra cuts. You don't like the way so you want a smooth edge bead. You don't like the faceted cut then, Nordic Luna? So she put a comment that she doesn't like the way those feel. And she's saying it's Geraldine, and Geraldine was the one with the faceted. Okay. And I am trying to work on, usually when we do the gemstones, natural stones, those don't have the faceted in them, but I'm trying to bring in some more of the glass beads without it. You have texture issues. I have food texture issues. My husband doesn't. I do. I can't eat mushrooms or tomatoes because of the texture. Yes, I'm that kid that you had as a little kid that didn't like that, and I never outgrew it. So you guys can laugh. Oh, John sounds. Ooh, you like blueberries? So, okay, so I'm not the only one that has food texture issues. See, I don't have it with blue. I can, but I make smoothies with blueberries. So I don't eat blueberries, just blueberries. I will eat a blueberry pie and I will eat blueberry smoothies or shakes. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. Thank you for making me feel. And we can talk about the different types of beads here tonight. And the reason why is that it is chat time. Ooh, I never thought about that. About crunchy cookies. That one is a unique. I've never heard that one. So I love it that we can share. Hold on. I got to move this container out of my way because it's empty. And I keep running over my chair. All right. So we all know what glass is. And then here, these can be called porcelain, ceramic. You can hear different names for these. And this is what it is. So think about, yep. See, and if they have the AB, okay. So Geraldine has in my bee soup. I found faceted clear, but not badly. That reminds me of the disco ball. And the thing is that the disco ball is like the it could be the coating sometimes that they will put on beads. The AB will give you that disco ball effect a lot. So here is what we call a porcelain or ceramic. So like if you guys have seen, like if you go to ceramics class, that type of thing, where you have the clay and you mold it and shape it into something, or you will already have it molded for you and then you paint it, and then you can decide if you want it glazed or just left natural looking. These are like, if you notice in the center here, I'm going to go on this end. See how they're white here? That means that is the color of the clay, and then they are colored blue on the outside, and they put the glaze on there to give it that shiny finish instead of a matte finish. So that would be when when we are talking about ceramic and porcelain beads, that's what those are. You can get them where you can have the ceramic in the center, and then you can take that ceramic and you can actually put little beads in there. They may not have holes, or these here, I'll show you here, these little beads here. And then in the center, we have a metal ring and a rhinestone. And then you just bake that, and then they stay in there. So that is literally some of the different ways. And I mean, even here is another one. Let me get it out so you can see it. This is the porcelain bead that they put the silver in. That's just a metal silver piece in there to give it a different look. When you see beads like these, yep, and the fired color will, when you put this in, it does not look like this color when you paint them. So like when I've done ceramics and stuff, they will have what it looks like after it's been in the kiln and fired. And so, and then they'll have like what color it is, so that when you look at it, you're like, this isn't right. But you have to remember to look at the piece of whatever you're looking at so that you know what color it's going to be. So that's the things that you gotta think about. There we go. And so that's how they're done. And these just have little metal slices in them that you can do. So when you think about it, and when you get them in these types of shapes, you can do them like this. I'm going to do a different color so you can see. Yep. Yep, that is so true. So like here, we've got gold in that one with a different color in there. But these style of beads that are like this, these you will also hear referenced as Indian beads, like from India, because that is a technique that is from that area of the world. So, and they can come in different colors. I've got them in all different colors. They will have different rhinestones on them. They can be gold or silver or not. And like here, this one has the rhinestone on it and then the beads. So they can be lots. Yep. And I can get beads like that. We've had them every once in a while. They are in different sizes and stuff. I can get them. They just come in multi-packs. So like I don't, like all of these that I have in mine, I get the multi-pack when I was buying beads for my own collection here. And I sorted them out by color. And so sometimes I'll have like, literally, you're going to see here, I only have 2 of each one in there. Because that's all I got in that pack. But I might have gotten like these in that same pack. So they will come all different. And we don't have a choice on what we get. You just get the multi-pack that you get. So I can get those and bring those in if that's something you guys want. So that would be porcelain or ceramic. Okay. And you can get them in different sizes. You can get them anywhere from an 8mm all the way up to like a 20mm. So I'll look and do that. Then this next tray that I have, this is gemstones. Now, gemstones, I want to talk a little bit about natural gemstones, that type of thing. You will hear hi, Rosie, when we talk about them, I will tell you if it's synthetic, natural, if I have all the information. Like if it's natural, if it's synthetic, if it's dyed, that type of thing. So a lot of people think all gemstones are natural, and they're not. They can be made in a lab. So think about it from this aspect. The blue sandstone that I love, that's like, hi Rainbow, that is like my favorite. It comes in brown, it'll come in green, it comes in blue. I don't know what other colors it will come in, but what it is that they take different, and I'm not going to give like the exact thing for the sandstone, but different ones that are lab made or synthetic will be the word that you will hear, is that they will take whatever came from the earth, because that's what gives it the natural effect of it. And they will combine it with other ingredients to come up with its own properties and its own thing. Sandstone, you will never find made in nature. It's not a natural. It is truly, that one is a man-made one. And so as I've like come to grow, you know, there are those that really truly believe that only natural is the only way to go because of the properties that come off of it. You know, like the calming effect or the healing effects or whatever effect or whatever comes from having those natural stones on your body somewhere. That has to come from my understanding, because I don't follow that, so I'm not going to give advice on that, is that it has to come from the natural stones. So just think about it from that aspect, because you're going to have, if you're someone that does in-person shows, you're going to have somebody ask you about that. And you want to try to know as much as possible about what you are having on your table, so that they can know that. So you just need to keep that in mind when you're dealing with the naturals. Some people want the natural look, but don't want to pay the natural price. So turquoise, for example, or even the moonstones, like we've had the synthetic moonstones yesterday. They can be extremely high-end price. And just like we did with the malachite a few weeks ago, we had those malachite column beads. Those were true naturals. I put my synthetic and my naturals together when I sort too. I just have to know which ones are natural and which ones are synthetic if someone asks me. So those, if like the malachite, it was like, and I cannot remember, a value of like 2 for one, you know, like you would get 2 beads for one value. But if that was for natural, or maybe it was 2 beads for a value of 2, I can't remember what it was. But you're looking at 0.5 to 1 for each bead. So when you go into the synthetic, you could get like 15 for a value of 1. That's where there is a sometimes in some of the naturals, you're going to see a huge difference. And it's just lab made versus man made. But the lab made doesn't mean it is not having any components of it. It just has a different, like the synthetic turquoise would be malachite, or not malachite, sorry. Why can't I think of it all of a sudden? It's another M word, and we had it earlier today. Why can I not think of that bead? Let me see if I can find it in someone's basket so I can remember the name of it. Yep, it's right here. Magnesite. It can be magnesite dyed to that cyan color or that turquoise color. Yes, Ashley, you got it. I'm like, we had it. I know it. It just wasn't coming out. And so that is where that comes from. So I just want to let you know that's the difference between it when you're listening to it. So every once in a while, you will hear me say, and people are asking about the grades. So when you are dealing with natural stones, they can be graded. And what that means is that it is given and like a triple A, double A, B, C, you know, you can have different grades. That is given to it when it is manufactured, or, and what I mean by manufactured, it's about when they are making it into a bead. They will grade it because we can't see the properties. It needs to go underneath a microscope. You need to see how different things about each type of natural stone will give it its grade. Yep. So you got the size, the coloring, how perfect it is, you know, and you're looking at like the molecular structure of it and that type of thing. So you're not going to see it to the naked eye. Yes, similar to diamond grading. And so you will hear me, and they do it with some of the glass beads that you can buy. When you're looking at like a Swarovski type, or even the imitation of the Swarovskis, they will grade those too. So just to let you know. Okay, Lori asked about, she loves opalite. Is that man-made? Yes, it is. Opalite is man-made. It is the equivalent of like trying to have a lower end of a transparent opal is the way to think of that. And that's how I've always envisioned opalite and opal are together, but one is lab created, whereas one is natural. Yep. And the thing is I think opalite is beautiful. But like you can get, yep. And that's the thing. So when people sit here and say, I will never buy a synthetic, or I will never buy a dyed, I say that is your choice. And as if you have someone coming to your in-person event and they say that is 100% their choice. I will offer both, but when I get to price points of my in-person events, my price points don't allow for a lot of the natural stones that are on the higher end side. Opalite is it's a lab created I'm trying to, it's like a milky white. That's the best way I can describe it. It is really cool. It is like, it is pretty. To me, it is very pretty. I think I would prefer opalite over an opal, because some of the other thing you have to remember is, just like some of the natural beads, because they are natural, they will be I can't think of the hardness scale, what it is called, but they won't be as hard as other things. Like diamonds is one of the hardest things. So some of the, like if you look at a pearl, it's a natural, but a pearl can't stand up to wear and tear like a diamond would. So that's the one thing you also need to take into consideration, is how are you going to wear the jewelry, and what can take up the, whatever you're going to be wearing it. So that's my opinion on it, but everybody has their own rights to their own opinions on it. Yep. Yes, some of them will. And like if you look at like lava stone, when I do my lava stone, when I go to have that up at an event, the lava stone, you will hear me say a lot of times that it is either synthetic or dye. Lava stone doesn't come in all of the colors that is available at events, okay? Lava stone is like this off-whitish color, like kind of like, to me, just a off-white dull color. You can use it for essential oils. If you're someone that likes to have the essential oils, you can use the lava stone for that. But, people wanted it to have all the colors in it. So when you hear me saying it is dyed, and it's because it's dyed to the color. Now, what you have to be careful with dyed beads, hi Lulu, no matter if it's a gemstone, a glass, any dyed bead, you want to have one that is like heat treated and not spray painted, and that it actually treated to absorb in it. You will get sometimes glass beads, if you get them on a strand and you take them off the strand, and let's say they were dyed red, and if your strand is red, normally what's going to happen is that red is going to come off of that bead, and it is going to go to like a clear glass look. So that's another thing to think about when you're hearing people with all the beads, or if you're looking it up and sourcing it, is that you want to make sure that it's like a heat set glass. Or if, like when because the glass can be clear on the outside, and they just put the color on over the top, just over the top, and those wear off. I try my hardest not to get those. I can't guarantee 100% of the time that it's not that way. But even with the naturals, I am trying to not have the color come off. If we wanted to have those beads, I could get them, and they would probably be a lot less than some of the glass strands that we have. I didn't. Yep, and it will happen it will be glass, it will be natural. It can even be sometimes the usually acrylic is not, because usually acrylic is baked into the coloring. But if you have the plastic, there's a difference between plastic and acrylic. And that will sometimes, though, the plastic will come, it's just on the outside and it will come off. So yeah, so that's something that I don't test out the beads to make sure they're not going to do that. And that's one thing that if we did do, then we would know, and we'd be like, not that one, type scenario. So that's why I say you just have to be careful. And I'm like always trying to read up when I'm sourcing about it. If I am not getting the full information from somebody, I try not to purchase from them those types of items. And I got to watch what I say. One of the other things that I did to help myself not get any of the restrictions, if you guys, I don't think you've noticed because I haven't pointed it out, but if you went to my profile, I removed a line in the profile. And I'm thinking that is really truly helping me out more than anything. And so that's why we have to say, we're going to my home space. I loved what we said that last night. So just to let y'all know. Let me see what else we have. Here's some acrylics. So like when you get the acrylics like this, acrylics come in lots of different ways. This style of an acrylic, it's not as, I'm going to hold it up against the glass. You can see there is a little bit of difference in the quality. Yes, we did. You're not, whoever said this, I got to go back and see. No, you can ask. You are not dumb. You get to ask. So like, okay, I'm going to show you. Do you see how this isn't a smooth edge, but it has all those cuts in that one? I'm going to show you over here. See how there's all the cuts to this bead? That is faceted. Now, if it were just smooth, I'm trying to find a smooth one in here, like this. This is in a plastic. See how that's smooth and doesn't have any cuts into it? Okay, thank you, Geraldine. This is not faceted. That's the difference. Okay, so that's the difference between there. So in those two that I just showed you, the color is in the plastic or the acrylic. Now, this one here, because it has a coating on the outside, you see how those scratch? These are not going to stay cute and shiny all the time. You're going to get scratches in that. And it's because of it's on the outside. Let's see. Yep, it is. It was a box of 64 Crayola colors and the 4 retired colors that have been used in the past. That's what it was about. Yep, you were. Geraldine did say that the other day. She's like, it's a box of crayons. It was the 64 box is what we used for all of our colors. So there was a list of 68. I told her she was onto something. So yeah, so when you're thinking about, you got to look and listen and read when you're sourcing. So that's why you got to, you know, figure out what is it. You know, if this were a gemstone, if this was a natural stone, when you have this type of thing in it, it is called carved. This is just a mold that they created to create this one because it is an acrylic. But if it were an actual stone, they would carve it. Yes, it would. This one here. So that's some of the differences there. There are books that you can read. Oh, we hit 10K. We'll do it. There are books that you can read. And now I don't have a list of colors, so I have to come up with colors. All right, I got it in there. You guys, this is one word for this color, everybody. Ooh, 2 people have got it. So who's the first one? Oh, now 3. Geraldine, you were first. And then it was Lulu and then Robin. And I am doing 5 creative credits off of your list. You guys all guessed magenta. Let me see. Yes, you do have a basket right here. I'm going to put it in the basket. So congratulations, Geraldine. So yeah, so how to learn the terms. One of the things is we will try to say them as much as possible. One thing I want you guys to understand, I will explain them as much as I can. If we're in the middle of some of the lives that I may not go into as much detail, when we're on the chat, you can ask a ton of questions and we can keep repeating it. There are books about different beads and that type of thing, and you can look to see if you can get them from your libraries. You could see if you can get them online, that type of thing. So that's what I would say, and we will keep saying things over and over and over again, and you just need to ask, because I don't know if you don't know if you don't let me know. As we used to say when I worked at the corporate job, you don't know what you don't know. Yep, you can do that too. And the thing is that here, yep, there is one called the Bead Bible. And I have books that I got with the Hagar estate sale. Can I explain the number 1? Okay, I think this is the one. You're talking about the antique bronze Tibetan style alloy, cadmium, nickel, and lead free. This is the one you're looking at, Nordic Luna. I can break this one down for you to help you out. Oh, so I don't know what cadmium is, honestly. And it's just something that there are certain states that we have to say if it contains cadmium, nickel, or if it does not contain it. There, that's the way to word it. So if you notice, if I will tell you on metal beads, if there's cadmium, if there is lead, or if there's nickel, if it's free of that. Okay. If I don't say it, then it's not free of that. And that's one thing you got to watch for, because some people do have nickel allergies. And so if that's something you want to make sure, you can have nickel. Some people have severe reactions to it and some do not. Some people coat it when they get it. It's all that. But I honestly do not know what that is. But there is, especially one state that starts with a C, that we have to say, this is what it doesn't have. It's a requirement of that state. I think you guys can all figure out which state that is. The state I live in doesn't have requirements like that. We are one of the, like, yep. No, it does not. Stainless steel is steel. And it has, if it doesn't, it's one of those that you can have if you have a sensitivity to it. And I'm saying a sensitivity. So, like I said, you can have different levels to the allergy of nickel. So, most people are in the category where if they have a sensitivity to nickel, they can usually do stainless steel. Not everybody can. You've seen here, Robin can only do sterling silver. Then also Nordic Luna said that she can only do gold. So somebody was filtered. So if you want to put it back in there in a different way. My oldest daughter is gold. That's it. Yeah, it is a metal, but I just didn't know, like, what type of metal. Like, I know what, like, nickel is, and I know what lead is, but I don't know cadmium. And if I'm pronouncing it wrong, you guys can tell me, but that's how I was taught to pronounce it. And so it is, yep. And so people, yep, that's the way some is. Yep. And some people, so I call her my second mom, and she can only wear a certain type of gold even on top of it. So each person is different, and it's just how your body reacts to the different metals. Okay, soft silvery metal similar to zinc. Okay. Silver white metal. Okay. Thank you guys. Because that's one thing I'm sitting here going, I should look that up. And I literally have never looked it up. I should. But so when we break it down, and then you can have like the antique color of the metal versus the metal color. Antique just means it's like, to me, looks vintage. You will hear me talk about the alloys. The alloys are different metals that created that item. They don't tell us always what the alloys are, but like one of them, they said it was zinc in there. Yep. Which one turns your finger green is copper usually. Copper is where your body has a pH balance reaction to copper. And so one thing that if you use craft wires and not like sterling silver wire, when you are doing wire wrapping and that type, most of the base of those metals are going to be copper. Sometimes they will be, yes, Tibetan is the style. But the copper will be the base metal, and they have a coating around it. So depending on the quality of the craft wire, you may or may not. You can do aluminum, but aluminum does not hold. We were talking about hard versus soft. Aluminum is a soft metal. Yep. Copper is supposed to help with arthritis. Yes. Yep. You got that one, Nordic Luna. She says Tibetan style is like Gothic or Roman, just a different style. And that is correct. Yep, and that is in copper, and the reason being is copper is a metal that is very easy to work with. It will hold the shape because it's soft enough to be able to use and to wrap, but it is hard enough that it will hold the shape. So like aluminum is soft enough to shape, but it doesn't hold it. And you can do the sterling silver. The reason why people do the copper versus the sterling silver is because of the cost of sterling silver. Yep. It is a lot different in price. And I used to I would make these candles. You would just take a pillar candle and you would take pieces of the sterling silver wire, and you would take pins, like sewing pins and seed beads, and you would create a candle using those, just in a really cool like scene into it. Yep, and you can do that because the house wire, the base metal to a lot of the wires is the copper. So yep, you just have to strip off the plastic coating on the outside that makes it allowable to be in a home or in a business. Yep, you do have to, there are pastes and polishes for copper that you can use. Sterling silver is very, very, tarnishes easily. And so you can get a polishing cloth, or there are some dips that you can put sterling silver in to not have it. But one of the things to think about was when you're not wearing your jewelry, put it in a air-free environment. And it doesn't matter if it is something high-end or just, I'm just going to say, like a costume piece of jewelry. The more that you will put it in an air-free environment, putting them into a jewelry box versus just leaving them out on your, wherever you're going to lay your jewelry, makes a huge difference. But then also putting them in bags, you can keep them away from the air and they don't tarnish as fast or turn colors, that type of thing. So that's the one thing to think about. And I always say that when I'm talking about it. We talk about how did I transport jewelry back and forth to shows? It was in baggies. I would have these on their card, but these earrings would be in a bag. You will see after I get done with the show, these will stay out for like through Friday because we have the event Friday night for the other teardrops. After I'm done, then I will put them in a bag so that they are not touched by the air until I decide what to do with them. So, yep. So that's what I will tell you guys, is keeping it air free, out of the air. So, I'm trying to think of like what other ones. We've got different ones up here. So hold on. We've got, I actually do have, excuse me, these in my collection. They're pearl beads. Do pearls come in this color like this? More times than not, nope. The only time that they will come in this way is if when they have the oyster farm, that they inject something into the oyster when the pearl is being created to change it into colors. Then the farmed ones, yep, you're saying it right. The farmed ones would then have color. They will dye a natural color one on some of these too. So sometimes when you get pearls, they can be dyed too. Robin likes the turquoise color. Well, see, I do not have a ton of the blue pearls, but this is my blue pearl collection. That's it. I do not have a lot. Yep. And I have a whole bunch of those too. They do not have any drills in them. I have a whole bunch of pearls. Oh, I'm glad you love it. I'm like having a hard time because of the trays, seeing it. And then you have, now, when you guys, earlier when we had, I think I sold out of it, but hold on. I've got one right here. When we did the natural mixed color dyed wood, Rondell, lead-free. Now, when I was reading this, I literally stopped and thought, does anybody understand what I am saying here? And I probably was like, no, I don't think, but I didn't stop to explain it. I literally thought it, but I didn't stop to explain it. Hold on, I got to move the tray so I can see comments, or move my tablet so I can see my tablet. Where did I get these containers? I got them a long time ago from a business that Michael's took over, and Michael's doesn't distribute these anymore. You can go to places I cannot say here and put in Elizabeth Ward Bead Storage Solutions or white bead storage containers, that type of thing. And you can go, I can't say that word. And then you can see if you can search for them and find them. Okay. But when I read this, I'm going to break this one down for you guys. Natural, wood is natural. Sandy, you got it. And so there's mixed colors and they're dyed. So dyed can mean that they put the color in there and dyed it like a stain or a paint. And when this one is dyed, we needed to make sure it is lead free. So that's why we've got that in there, because the paints can contain lead and we don't want that. So that's what this one meant. So, because have you ever seen wood in blue or red or yellow or green? No. So.
Oh, I finally did it. I finally did it. I made slime.
You did it! And your shirt is all yucky. And so are your pants.
I can fix it. I made slime.
She made her own slime for the first time. And she's not supposed to have it in any other room but one room. So go take it down.
It's like clay. You want to feel it?
Oh, this one's a cool one. I like the feel of that slime. You've got it on your face even there, Buttercup.
At least I made it.
Okay, now let's stop sliming my bead room, okay? I'll get the door. Ugh, hold on, she got it all over my door. Hi, Gladys. Sorry, everybody. Oh. She has been trying for a long time to make it. Okay. Yep, you can dye. Oh, I got it on here, so I might have to like take that off. I'm gonna have to wash my tablecloth because I got that on there. It is. Well, maybe I'll go grab some rubbing alcohol and get this off because you got it on my black tablecloth. But this one needs to be replaced. So I literally thought the other day I need to buy one. But here I have, this is my blue, because this is my stack of blues, everybody. But you can get wood beads in like the Heshy. You can get them where they're going to be painted like little flowers. You can get them in round. So you can get them in different shapes and different colors. But you want to make sure when I'm reading them, you know, they are going to say dyed because they are. But they need to be lead free. Yep, there's some really cool. Some of these, I will tell you all, some of these I have had, so I have been collecting beads for 20 years. So I don't know if I can always get them again or not. That's the hard part. There, those go there. Now this one goes here. And then this one goes right here. There we go. So, and the other thing I did not show you here is this one. Let's do this one. Oh, you thought it was... I got that. Whoops. So then we have what I call, and this is where you get into different things. These are the shells. I've always learned these were called mother of pearl. But one of the suppliers, they call them freshwater shells. And that's really what they are, is that it is a freshwater shell that has been sliced, you know, like they make those farms with the shells and they can slice them up and make, and depending on what kind of shell it is, they can make different ones. So we have like the blue square. I used to, and I can't find these anymore, but there was a lot of frames. A lot of frames. Like there's that square one. I've got oval or circle ones. There's a star one. But these are usually dyed. See, we even have one with a coating on. Now getting these are difficult. I did, as I was working on the next request of beads, I did find a rectangle, so it's gonna be more, this is a square, but it's gonna be like a little bit of a rectangle like this size. maybe a little bit smaller. I can't remember off the top of my head how big it is, but I can get those in lots of different colors. The way that they showed it, there's like 5 or 6 colors, but I will possibly get multiple strands of the different colors. And so I'm going to get those on the next one. So we're going to bring some of those in. There. So that would be shell. That's how I have them labeled on here. So you can, I will call them mother of pearl or freshwater shells. Oop. That's driving me nuts because it's white on black. I feel like I've got something stuck behind me, but I don't. Okay. Ooh, Buttercup did not charge this phone while she was using it. There we go. What other kinds of shapes or bead styles do you guys have? Because we're getting close to the end of the hour, but I wanted to make sure I've answered some of your questions. And we can bring these back in for next week. Thanks, Patty, for all the puff hearts. What is a rondelle? We can do that on these nights. So a rondelle is, I'm going to grab these here. You see how it is flat? It is a circular bead that isn't round. It is kind of flat. This one, if you notice, it will have a round edge to it. That is what a rondelle is. So think about it is round, but smushed on the sides. But when you go to the sides, they round to that smush side. Okay, you got a long oval torpedo-like gray bead. That one, when I have used that one, because it's a long and skinny. I mean, not like skinny, but like maybe, is it like the 8mm round or so? If it's that one is in my bead soup. Let me see what I got in the bead soup. Okay, that's a good thought. Here we go. We've got a glass one right here. Nope. Yep, this one is. This is a faceted rondelle. Do you see how it's rounded edges, but he's flat like in the center part? That is a faceted rondelle. It's like a finger. Okay. That one, when I used that bead, I did like a necklace and used wire to make it a connector between different chains and bars of other beads. Good night, Sandy. So that's what I have done with it. And it is huge. So it's too big for earrings and it was too big for bracelets. I would do more necklaces with it. That's what I would say. All right, everybody. I am going to hop off, get ready for bed, and get some sleep tonight so that I do not get sick. That's my goal. But next week, I know for sure we will have 2 chats. One will be always on Mondays, usually in Monday afternoon, and then one of the nights during the week. We can always continue to talk like this. That's what chat nights is about. Is you guys throw it at me and I can let you know what it is. Hello, Everett. Yes, I am going to be vitamin-y tonight. So I will be back just to let you go, guys, everyone know. I believe it might be, check the time because I don't remember the time for tomorrow. I got to check that. And no, I don't have one during the day. So it's 8 p.m. That's when I'll be on again, is 8 p.m. tomorrow night. And we are going to do the Christmas tree ornaments here with the silicone beads. Yep, and that's what, I don't want to sleep all day tomorrow, but I want to make sure I get enough rest. So we're going to do these at 8 p.m. There's no daytime live tomorrow, so that I remember now. So I will be back. So everybody have a great rest of your night. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Bye.